Alright, hello guys. We're just doing a quick mic check to get started as per usual. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. Again, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello. If you can hear me, please let me know in chat. Okay, it sounds like I'm a little bit soft. And that delay is a little bit annoying. Hello, testing again. If you can hear me, please let me know. Hello, testing again. If you can hear me, please let me know. Okay. It sounds like all things are good, and I see that 4 people have already jumped in. That's fantastic. Hello, guys. Please let me know as you guys enter. Sounds like all things are good, and I see that 4 people have already jumped in. All right. Today, by the way, we are going to be talking about technology vocabulary. We did something similar in the previous week, but we're going to go a lot more in-depth and a lot more segmented here. And again, hello, Naz. Welcome. Thanks for coming back. Good to see you. It's going to be sad when you pass your exam and leave us. If you guys want to be awesome like Naz, please say hello in the chat as well. I love it when you guys are talking. All right, so just a quick overview of today's schedule. Thank you, Naz. I am doing great. Happy to be doing this live stream for you guys. And happy to be helping you guys on your IELTS journeys. And thankful for you guys for showing up. Seeing you guys here makes this all worth it. So, by the way, today's schedule is going to be first the best ways to learn vocabulary. This is going to be very short, 1 or 2 minutes. After this, we'll be going over the broad strokes, and this is going to be where we basically have you guys saying what vocabulary you already know. And then after that, we're going to be working on what vocabulary would be useful for writing task 2, writing task 1, speaking part 1, speaking part 2, speaking part 3, and finally listening. At the end, there will be a Q&A. And I'm a bit soft, so let me raise the volume. Thank you, Nez, for pointing that out. Okay, is that any better, or is it still not too good? Okay. Yeah, please let me know if that's okay. And again, thanks for pointing that out to me. Okay, Naz says that it's good. Fantastic. Okay. Great. If you guys ever hear any problems, just let me know and I will do my best to fix them. Speaking of which, I want to apologize again for the technical problems we had on the Saturday speaking class. I promise those won't happen again, and me and Phil will be getting them out. Oh, hello, bye. Welcome back. So yeah, let's jump into it. A few things, a really quick reminder, just 20 seconds. Remember, be active for the best live stream. Me talking is a bit boring for me and for you, so make sure you guys say hi in chat. Make sure you answer the questions in chat. There is a bit of a delay, but anything you type, I will comment on. The best way to watch our stream is to watch it live. So just to show you guys what I mean, some of you guys may be joining the stream late, and you guys will want to watch it from where you've been starting, but this is the best if you do it live. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you like what you see, and know that in our description you can see today's Google Doc, which is what we will be working on today, you can see the PowerPoint, which isn't too long, and you can see our schedule, where you can see both when we will be coming up and also compare it to our own time. So tomorrow will be our next one at 3. Tomorrow, Tuesday at 3, Taipei time. You can compare that to your own time. We will be doing a listening about technology. And also note that on Friday, we have the mock speaking exam. Make sure you guys stop by and say hello to Phil. And like I said, Saturday at 5, we will have group speaking, and it will be much better than last time. I promise. Thank you for all the guys who did show up to this one and were patient with me. Okay. Also remember, you can join us on Discord. We have a full mock test on Sunday. You can see the one for last time on Sunday's live stream video, or you guys can wait for the next one on Sunday. We will play that from 12 to 12, so you guys can take it once at any starting time. Speaking classes, and don't forget you can send us your speaking and writing. Okay, admin is done. Yay! Okay, so how vocabulary is learned. I want to teach you guys this stuff so that you are more effective learners, so you guys are better at learning vocabulary. The best way to build your receptive vocabulary, by the way, your receptive vocabulary is your ability to recognize words. So if you're reading or listening to something and you hear a word, you know what it is. That's your receptive vocabulary. The best way to build your receptive vocabulary is to read, every day, read. I'm being serious here. Reading 20 minutes every day is the best way to learn vocabulary for English. That's because you need to hear a new word 26 times or read a new word 26 times before you learn it. Yeah. Also, you need to build schema. Building schema is... and by the way, hello, Song. Nice to see you. And the best way to build schema, by the way, is to connect words that you already know to new words. Okay. So by the way, if you guys want to build your vocabulary for technology, you guys should be reading articles on bbc.com about technology, or reading articles in news magazines about technology. That will build up your vocabulary, your receptive vocabulary for that topic. The best way to build your productive vocabulary, and these are the words that you can say and write, is to use it. Specifically with a vocabulary notebook. Me and Phil always recommend that you guys go out and buy an expensive one. By the way, the reason why we say you should buy an expensive vocabulary notebook is so that when you forget to use it, you feel guilty. So many times students are so excited to learn English and they go and they buy a new pencil, a new pen, and a new notebook, but then they never use it. If you get an expensive one, you're going to use that. Also, when you have your vocab notebook, make sure you write collocations. These are the words that naturally go together. Fast car, strong wind, handsome Michael. Write down example sentences so you know how to use it. Many students forget to do this, and they learn the meaning of the word, but they don't know how to actually use it naturally, which is one of the reasons you guys are here, is so we can work on that. Draw pictures and go out and use the language. Go find some friends, go find a language partner in a free language exchange online. There's a bunch of free websites for that. Or on our Discord channel, go out and try to use the words. Yeah. Okay, and I see Naz is telling us about the weather in India being terrible. Oh my goodness, I didn't know that so many people could fall victim to thunderstorm strikes. Like monsoon or typhoon, I could understand, but thunder strikes, that's terrible, Naz. Stay safe. Yes. And Bai says, fair enough for that reason. Well, yeah, if you're talking about the weather, Naz, stay safe. It's, oh man, that sounds terrible. We have typhoons here in Taiwan, but they've done a really good job of building up the infrastructure here. Like, all the buildings are typhoon proof. We have a lot of earthquakes too, but again, they build so that it's mostly safe. It's scary when it happens, but we haven't had a really bad accident for a couple years now. And that was a building that wasn't made to code. But let's continue. Like I said, see this link. It's also in the description. So if you guys are ready, let's move over to the actual technology vocabulary. Remember, guys, this is best when you guys are... yes. And Bai says, it's a good reason to get an expensive notebook. Yes, that's exactly right. Alright guys, so feel free to come over and see this worksheet. This is going to be what we're working from for the remainder of this class. Okay, by the way, if you guys want to say hi to your partners, you can go to the Discord, which is right down here. And then if you guys want to chat with each other while you guys are listening to the live stream, feel free to. Make some new friends. I had a lot of students who say they really miss in-person classes because they can make friends that way. I hope that you guys jump into one of these voice channels and talk and chat with each other while listening, and maybe trying to use the vocab in there as well. Okay, so when I say technology, the first thing I want you to do is write down as many words as you can that you know connected to technology. So for example, I would probably write here artificial intelligence, AI. I would write down cell phones. What else would be technology? Like, let's see, video, conference, software. And I see some people are already jumping in. Hello, one of you guys is an anonymous rhino, and that is a very cute rhino too. Self-driving cars. If you guys are having trouble coming up with words, you can also think about it down here. Like a specific example of technology would be a tablet or iPhone. Industries that are connected to technology, just some examples of those. And people, what are some people connected to technology? I would say, oh, and I see some of you guys are already typing in chat. Yep, go ahead, tell me as many words as you can that you know connected to technology. By the way, this is building schema. When you think of old words that you already know in a topic, before you learn new words, it builds stronger connections for the new words, and so you remember them easier. By the way, if I add anything here that you don't know, feel free to ask me in chat. What does that mean? So I'm going to give you guys about 4 minutes to think of as many words as you can connected to technology. These can be types of technology. These can be specific examples or gadgets, industries, or people. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk. Who are some more people connected to technology? Bezos. Who's the Chinese mogul, business mogul, who disappeared for a while? Jack Ma. You guys can have your own people from your own country here as well. Industries. So we have the tech sector. We have the industrial sector. The agricultural sector. And then in the agricultural sector, you could have sensors in the fields. Agricultural sector, you could have ag robots, which would be future. You can have large self-driving tractors. Mechanized agriculture. And I'm coming up with these hopefully while you guys are. Please write in chat some of your own words for these. What do you guys know? And I see Bai has already started typing. Wonderful. Unfortunately, I only know one of those. Tech savvy is a great way to describe someone. Tech savvy. So bye. I hope that you come up with some more. If you explain FOMO, smobby, and fubbing, and a NAS, a breakthrough, a technological breakthrough. That's great. So I would put that under collocations with technology. So a technological breakthrough. That's fantastic. Let's see. Revolutionized. Ooh, I like that. Digital devices. Okay. And by the way, can you give me some examples of digital devices? Cutting edge technology. I like that as well. By the way, if any of these are new words, feel free to ask, hey, Teacher Michael, what does cutting edge technology mean? What does a technological breakthrough mean? And if you guys want, you guys could give me some examples. So self-driving cars is a cutting edge technology. It's a technology that's extremely new. Fear of missing out, FOMO. Ooh, where would I put that? Maybe up here under adjectives. No, it's not an adjective. What would it be? A saying. FOMO. Fear of missing out. So I guess a sentence that would be connected to that would be a lot of people are buying new tech, new gadgets that they don't need because they have a fear of missing out. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I know that FOMO is a real thing, but I can't think of a situation where I would use it as an acronym. So if you want to have your own sentence, that'd be great. And Raghav, welcome back. Advent of technology, great collocation. All right, and I'm just give me 1 second to bring up chat. Smart zombie phone, smartphone zombie. A smombie. I like that. Viral clip, electronic device. Ooh, these are all great. Outdated technology. I like that. Okay, these are fantastic words, Sky. I'm only going to spend about 1 more minute here, and then we're going to move on to the next part. Phone snubbing. Don't know how I would use that as a sentence. I'm not saying that it's wrong, I'm just not sure how to use it. If you could give me a sentence by, that'd be great. Yes, and user-friendly technology. So what we end up having, if you guys look at this, is we have a lot of words that we have, but they're not connected to each other, and they're also, I don't have sentences that are showing how to use them, I don't have the collocations with them, and this is where a lot of students stop, unfortunately. They think of a bunch of these words, but they don't have a really deep understanding. They don't know how to use them. By the way, I'm just going to copy a few more, because, again, you guys were fantastic here. Viral clips and electronic devices. Okay. A viral clip. And technological devices, similar to digital devices. It's a very broad term, but it would be better on the exam if you gave specific examples instead of just saying the general term. So like, if you said, oh, I have an iPhone, that would be better than I have a technological device. Just because that's how we would naturally speak. Okay, low tech, nice. All right, guys. So, again, you guys did great here. But let's see how we can actually use some of this stuff. By the way, if you guys want to come up with sentences that use any of these words, put it in chat and I will add it. And I will fix it if there are any mistakes. But again, this is a very broad vocabulary that we haven't really narrowed and we haven't learned how to use. This is all the stuff that you already know. So now would be the time when we add to it, when we learn new words that connect to these words that you guys have come up with over here. Okay. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do writing task 2. So this one is probably going to be the most difficult one, but what we need to do here is first come up with questions that are connected to technology. And then after we come up with questions, we'll think of some big ideas and also some details that we could use when answering these questions. Just to give you guys the first one, and again, I need you guys to be active in chat here and type some things up. Up here, it would be the opinions about technology. So just to give you one example, some people say technology is making our lives better. Do you agree or disagree? Here's another one. Climate change is bringing about a lot of problems. What are some solutions? What are some technological advances that are being made that can counter this problem? All right, I hope you guys see what I'm doing here. I'm coming up with a technological prompt and then IELTS Task 2 essay that would be connected to technology. I hope you guys see this is a little bit different from last week's technology vocab class. And I hope you guys find it a lot of more useful. So guys, can you guys please come up with your own questions here? Your own questions that you might see about Task 2 that is connected to technology. I've put 2 up here. I'm going to give you guys about a minute or 2 to come up with your own. If you guys can't do that, you guys could also be trying to come up with, for example, technologies that can be used to combat climate change, or how technology is making your life better, or how it isn't. All right, again, I'm going to give you guys about 3 or 4 minutes to think of new questions or answers to these questions. Please type in chat what you think. Come on guys, I believe in you. What are some more questions that are Task 2 about technology? Or what are some answers to the questions that are already up here? You can do it! Don't be shy, guys. I know that this is a lot more difficult than just writing words, but I will fix any mistakes that I see, and remember, I love engagement. I eat it up. Can you guys think of any more Task 2 questions that would be connected to technology? Nez says that the internet has enriched our lives. I like that sentence a lot. Yeah, let me throw that on under this one. Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Naz. So you say that I think it does. Fantastic. And of course, you can also say the opposite. And by the way, Naz, if you could expand on this, could you say why or how it enriches our lives? Ooh, Bai, I like that one. So that's quite similar to this one, so I'll just put it above it. I love copy and paste. I will put that. Ooh, actually no, that's completely different. I'm sorry, Bai. Yeah, this is great on its own. So coming up with answers to these questions or more questions, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you, Bai. Thank you, Naz. Raghav, Song, you guys have anything you want to add as well? And if you're just joining us, this is a collaborative class. It works best if you guys interact. So please say hello and then add your own. Don't be shy. This is a safe place, a friendly place. And also, don't be pressured. If you are a slow typer, that's perfectly okay. You can take your time to type. It's fine. Lian Feng, thank you so much. Some people claim that technology is changing the way people work. Do you agree or disagree? I like that one. That one is fantastic. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Do you agree or disagree? And also, we could take this one, and it could be a completely different essay. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. Then it could be a 2 sides plus opinion essay. Now, to make it a little bit better for this type, it would be for the better. Because I don't think anyone can disagree with technology changing work. Here, it's fine. Here, for the better would make it a little bit stronger. And then Bai has another one. Some people think that the 21st century is providing opportunities for us to make some positive changes. To what extent do you agree or disagree? I like that one too. Okay. We're doing great. Now, what I want us to do is, now that we have a bunch of questions, again, thanks in large part to you guys being brave and putting them in chat, what I want to do is see if we can start coming up with some answers for it. So we'll start with 1 and 2. This one we've already got a note here. So I think technology is making our lives better. Do you agree or disagree? So the internet has enriched our lives. Can you guys come up with some specific examples of this being true? And Naz is coming in clutch. Excellent. New advanced equipment and digital devices have revolutionized our way of living. Okay. That would be another great point. Can you give me some specific examples of that? So I'll add some of my own just so that you guys have some direction here. So the internet has enriched our lives. We have access to a lot of the world's information for free at our fingertips. And then a specific example of that would be Wikipedia, Khan Academy, YouTube, and then to go even more specific, you can learn more than you ever wanted about the human digestive system on Wikipedia. If anyone took our Sunday class, that will be familiar to you guys. The Sunday, was it the listening or the reading? Yes. Oh, Raghav is throwing some shade. Raghav is saying that these are all cliche with no original questions. Oh man, so harsh. So even though these are cliche, these are still very similar to the types of questions that you may see on the test. So I'm not complaining. I think that the questions that you guys have put out are great. Raghav, if you have any more that you would like to try, go ahead, throw it in chat. Yes. And Bai says, we have several. Okay, so let me throw what you guys are saying on the thing so everyone can see. Medical technology has improved. People can now live longer. This is actually more of what I'm looking for. It's technology making our lives better. So medical technology has improved. People can live longer now. This is exactly what I want to see, by the way. It's a specific improvement for how our lives are better. Nice, excellent connection there. Can you give me any specific examples of that? See, this is where most students have trouble. Like, they are able to make a sentence like this. Medical technology has improved. People can live longer now. That's great. But then in task 2, when they need to go deeper and actually explain it, that's when they start to have problems. And this is exactly why we're having this vocab class, is to help you guys out and know what to say. So if you guys can think of any medical technology that has made people live longer, chemotherapy has allowed many people who would have died of cancer to survive and recover. And obviously Google's like, you spelled chemotherapy wrong. And Google is right, I did. What's another way? Medical screening can now catch many forms of cancer and other diseases cheaply and easily. Again, allowing people to live longer. Okay, let's see what else people have been throwing up. And we're up to 9. Hello, people. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining. I love how interactive you guys are being. Right now what we're doing is we're coming up with ideas and vocabulary that would be answering these questions. So I think we're doing a really good job here. And if anyone has any other notes about how the internet has enriched our lives, saying how or why it has, how has it made our life better, go ahead. I actually want to add one more before we continue with the ones that you guys have been throwing out, which is great, is word processors. Have made life bearable in the modern world. Imagine if you couldn't delete anything without starting over. Or if you had no copy and paste functions. Oh man, I would be miserable. I am so glad that we have word processors. and have made life bearable. I hope you guys are seeing. I'm trying to give you guys some higher level words and phrases that you guys can use here. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more here. Vaccines. Oh man, you guys are throwing out some more stuff. This is great. Naz is saying she's got some stuff for here that have revolutionized our way of living. Nice. These applications include, let me just throw this out here, induction stoves, dishwashers, because you're talking about it in general, and refrigerators. These days, we can remotely control these devices. Okay, really fast, Naz, how do these things make our life better? So you're right, these are applications that have changed with new technology. But you need to make sure you mention how it has revolutionized our way of living. Thank you so much, Naz, for putting this out there. Super student. But this is something that a lot of students are missing, is that connection. If you remember, up here, mental technology has improved. People can live longer now. This was the important connection that makes sure that it's on topic. So great. Man, a little impromptu writing class people are getting. Man, 10 people. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming. Please say hi as you guys drop in. Technology has enabled us to communicate better. And then also, Naz is saying robots, artificial intelligence. Nice. Good job of making use of these words that we used earlier. Let me just throw them on, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay. Technology has enabled us to communicate easier. Okay, now this is something, I would call it self-evident. A self-evident thing is already connected. Topic, so you don't need to explain it. So being able to communicate easier is already a thing that makes our life better. So you don't really need to explain it, but you should give some specific examples. We now have Zoom, Facebook, Messenger, and so much more, which allows us to connect seamlessly with family and friends at any time, day or night. So I want to point out two things. Allow us to contact seamlessly with. This is great vocab to describe how it is. And by the way, I see that we have an axolotl, a chinchilla, and a blobfish. I love these little things that Google has in Google Drive. Thank you for joining and saying hi and dropping in. Okay. And Bai says it's easy to keep in touch. And instant message, less time consuming. Instant message, less time consuming is a little bit weird to say. By the way, at any time, day or night is also a great thing. Okay. And let me throw in what Naz was saying. And then we'll move on to the next one. And Ragheft has a great, Rasitha, thank you. Runpindir, welcome. Thanks for coming. Thanks for saying hi. Okay. So nowadays, students and teachers are able to get information and knowledge so quickly through the internet. That's nice. I would put that up here with... this is kind of the exact same thing as what we were saying here, but we can still put it in. Okay, great. And then finally, I know I've said this 3 times, let me throw what Naz had said about robots. Moreover, robots... sorry, I missed something that Naz had said. Which was about these applications. So we can control them remotely. The Internet of Things is used correctly and well here, which is great. So we can remotely control them. This is a little bit self-evident, but you still need to come up with an advantage. So for example, our homes can now save energy and make us more comfortable by leaving everything off when we are out and turning on things like the AC right before we come home. So I want you guys to see that this is what I mean by a direct connection to our topic, which is our lives are better. Okay. And let me throw the thing that moreover robots and okay. And I would say that this next one is its own idea, which is another big idea, which is great. Okay. You guys have done great here. Again, doing this will build your vocabulary, especially when you have a native speaker. If you guys want to leave in the comments any more questions or big ideas for these, I will be happy to go back and tell you how they are next time. But let's move down here to writing task 1, just so that we can keep moving and people aren't getting too bored with one topic. Writing task 1, the only time when you'd really have to talk about technology is if you were describing a process. So a process diagram or a diagram of a device. Sometimes they will give you a diagram of a device and you have to explain it or describe it. Okay, and Naz, what you just said, the last thing you said is fantastic. That is a good connection. You're saying exactly how it has improved our lives. Excellent job, Naz. Okay, so in this next section, for writing task 1, what are some processes that you might need to describe that is related to technology? So just as an example, I have seen task 1s that are like the manufacturing of cell phones. I've also seen the recycling process, how paper is made. These are all examples of things that I've seen task 1s about. How about you guys? Are there any more processes that you've seen or you've heard about that you may have to describe? And also, if you want, please go ahead and tell me some vocabulary that will be useful here, and specifically how you would use it in a sentence. So to give you an example, the recycling process in general, maybe also the recycling process of phones, or how phones are recycled. So first, the phones are collected at specific locations. After that, they are packed up and shipped to the processing facilities. There, their batteries are removed along with any other valuable parts. At the same time, both the batteries and the remainder of the phone is disassembled into pieces. Okay, so this is just one example of showing how technology is used, and this might be by hand. A machine destroys any remaining pieces, or chews up is better. Any shreds, there we go. Any remaining pieces, and they are separated into their component parts. Okay, I'm going to stop there and start to see in chat if other people have added more stuff. Okay, can you guys think of any other processes, or could you guys describe the recycling process or the manufacturing process of cell phones if you know that? Now, they will give you a diagram, so you won't be left completely alone. But if you guys know verbs that are connected, or adjectives or nouns, or the names of processes, if you guys could leave that in chat, let's see what you guys know, and then let's see if I can add anything to that knowledge base. Design, prototype, model. Right? Good, Rasita. So the phones are designed and prototyped. That's great. After the design phase, a prototype is built. So I want to show you guys that there's different ways to say the same thing. The phones are designed and prototyped. These are both verbs. After the design phase, the prototype is built. Knowing the collocation, what verb goes with the noun, is also important. That was fantastic, Rasita. Can you guys add to this any more phases or verbs or nouns that are important here? After the kinks are worked out, these phones are mass produced. Again, if there's ever a word that you guys don't know, or if it's used in an interesting or new way, let me know and I will explain it further. At a manufacturing facility. Like the kinks. Does anyone know this? Don't Google it. Ask me. It can mean something very normal or something not very normal. All right. Performance testing. Rasita, I feel that you are in this field. These are great. And you guys can also be adding like Rasita. These are great. Okay. So that would probably be before the kinks are worked out. To troubleshoot any problems. Ooh, actually no, sorry, it would be after production. To troubleshoot any problems, these newly made devices go through a testing phase. Any defunct ones are sent back to be repaired or disassembled. The ones that passed are shipped out to wholesale vendors. Okay. Nice. I don't know why it's saying vendors is wrong. Okay, these are fantastic. Again, troubleshoot any problems. If there's any of these words that you guys don't know, that means someone else watching probably also doesn't know. So, newly made devices is also great. You guys probably know devices, but this is probably a new collocation. By the way, we talked about this when we did a class on describing a process, but using this, where the product changed in the previous point, and then you describe that change with an adjective or a compound noun, will really help your vocab score. It's not just the device, the newly made device. And sorry, that should probably be a hyphen. These newly made devices go through a testing phase. Any defunct ones? Do you guys know defunct? Anyone want to guess? And wholesale vendors? Anyone want to guess what that means? Any smart vocab kings or queens out there? So right now we are coming up with vocabulary that would be useful for this diagram. Now there's no diagram here, but you guys are giving me vocabulary and I'm giving you higher level vocabulary for how you can describe it. So we've done it for how phones are recycled. We've done it for the manufacturing of cell phones. Again, this is all connected to technology vocabulary. The more technology vocabulary you have, the easier these writing task ones will be. But we are actually out of time for this one, Naz. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll answer these questions, which is great. Lian Feng says, what does kinks mean? Again, please do not Google kinks. Don't Google it. I don't want to get into trouble. In this situation, the kinks are worked out. Please remember it as this set phrase. The kinks are worked out means that any problems are solved. So after the kinks are worked out, these phones are mass produced. So in the prototype, there may be some problems, some kinks. And then you work out the kinks means you get rid of the problems. So once the kinks are worked out, once you solve the problems in the prototype, then these phones are mass produced. Okay, that was a really good question, and thank you for asking. Also, obsolete and bygone raghav. I like both of these. Let's see, we could probably add that to the manufacturing process. Yeah, after a while, these phones become obsolete. And need to be recycled. Yeah, that was a great one, Raghav. Thanks. Bygone is so a bygone era. The only time when I personally would ever use bygone, and I want to separate this from the rest of it. So bygone era would be the collocation I would use, and this is a long past time. So just to give you a sentence, these newspapers, okay, let me give you another one. These typewriters are from a bygone era. These typewriters are from a bygone era. That means that they're old and out of date. These typewriters are old and out of date. They're from a time long ago or a previous technology cycle. Okay, yeah, these are great, guys. Let's move on now to what you guys really probably wanted, which was speaking part 1. Now I want you guys to see that there are actually 3 sections here. There's speaking part 1, which is related to your opinions and your experiences. There's speaking part 2, which is related to your own personal experience, and it will always be you telling a story or talking about a piece of technology that is important to you. And then speaking part 3 is spoken about the abstract. Now we will spend a very short time doing speaking part 1 because we kind of did this last live stream. We're going to spend more time on speaking part 2 and especially speaking part 3 since we didn't get to this last time. So just spending maybe 4 or 5 minutes on speaking part 1, what are some questions that you may have to answer about technology and what are some good answers to them? Please let me know in chat, just to give you some examples. And again, your job is to write your own questions and your own good answers to those questions while I'm talking here. Okay. So speaking part 1, possible question could be, what piece of technology do you use on a regular basis? What type of phone do you use? What software do you need for work or school? Okay. Can you guys come up with any more questions or answers to these questions? Just type them in chat. I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to think here. Do you like using technology? I like this. Technology. Ooh. What do you do with your e-wastes? Now, this would be specifically in... this would actually be a pretty... You probably wouldn't see this in part 1, but at the same time, this is too personal to be part 3, just because e-waste is quite high level. What do you do with your e-waste? Yeah? Okay. And I could actually see a good task 2 writing being about this. Let me just go up and throw that up here. Dealing with e-waste is becoming a global issue as places that previously accepted it are no longer doing so. What are some problems associated with the disposal of e-waste? What are some possible solutions? Now again, this seems a little bit too hard for the IELTS exam, but I could also see it. I've seen similar questions about like tourism and other kind of abstract things. If the e-waste problem ever becomes popular enough, I would actually probably see this essay pop up. Okay. So, what do you use your computer for? Nice. Okay. Why should we restrict the use of public phones? Okay, what type of technology is popular in your country? That's definitely a part 1. And then Naz, the one that you came up with is actually definitely a part 3 question. I can tell you right off the bat. But that's perfectly fine, and that's why I'm going to throw it over here. Why should we restrict the use of mobile phones in public places? Okay. And honestly, here's something that a lot of students don't realize. Most part 3 speaking questions could be part 2 writing questions. What? Yes, it's true. You can really practice both of them by before you start writing an essay. If you have a classmate or a friend who's studying for the IELTS exam, discuss it with them. If it's a problem solution essay, discuss the problem, discuss some solutions with your partner, and you will be practicing for part 3 of the speaking test and part 2 or task 2 of the writing exam. Okay, these are great. And Raghav says, time when you were not allowed to use a mobile phone. Ah, that sounds like a part 2 question for sure, because this is a specific situation. Describe a time when you weren't allowed to use a mobile phone. So this is what I want to say. Speaking part 2 questions are always going to be you describing an experience. This would be great for the story method or the question method. Okay. All right, let's really quickly, you guys did a great job coming up with these. So let's see if we can come up with some good answers here. again, just really fast, if you guys have any answers to any of these questions of part 1, feel free to write them in chat. I will modify them. I will tell you how you can make them a little bit higher level. And while you guys are answering these questions, I will write some of my own. So I'm going to give you 1 or 2 minutes to think, to try to come up with some of your own answers to these questions, and then I will start giving you my own. All right? And by the way, guys, thank you so much for being so active in chat. It really makes me happy to see everyone chatting. Yeah. Teamwork. I look forward to seeing your answers here, guys. By the way, while you guys are thinking, I really hope that you guys go back and review this document. Remember, all of you guys have access to this document in the description of this live stream. And this document will exist forever because of the power of the internet. And because of that, I hope that you guys study these and try to learn the words from them and the sentences from them before we have our speaking class, or before you have your writing class on Saturday for the speaking class, and I think it's Thursday for the writing class, respectively. Oh, Naz, that's a really good one. Can you live without your mobile phone? I like this one a lot, Naz. You know what? I will answer this one just because you've asked. And I will write out my answer as well so that you guys can follow along. I really can't. I need it not only for my job, which needs me to stay in contact 24/7, but also to stave off boredom. There, occasionally, I run to the restroom and have forgotten my phone, and it is a terrible, terrible existence. I am so bored. I really can't imagine living without it. By the way, this is just one answer, and I hope that my example was not too disturbing for you guys. I have a feeling that it's very common. Alternatively, I'll give you a second answer while you guys are writing your own. So can you live without your mobile phone? I am trying to at this very moment. I am trying to do a tech detox where I don't check my phone or use a computer outside of when I need to for work. Luckily, I work in an office, so when I leave, I can put down any electronics I would normally use and go on with my life. I feel like my life has improved dramatically since I've cut it out, as I am less angry, less stressed, and doing more meaningful things with my time. Okay. So I gave you two, I hope, fantastic answers. If you guys don't understand any of the answer that I came up with, please let me know. But I do want you guys to realize that these are very well connected. The first thing I always do is I answer the question directly. And when Phil was giving you guys mock exams, this was a mistake that I heard many times, where you didn't answer the question directly. Can you live without your mobile phone? I can't. Can you live without your mobile phone? I'm trying to right now. I'm trying to at this very moment. And then after that, you can add some details. So I need it for my job is A, and then B is I need it to stave off boredom. Then I gave some additional information about why I need it to stave off boredom, or an example of what happens if I don't have it to stave off boredom. In the second one, again, I directly answer the question, and then I give details about it. I'm saying what I'm trying to do. I'm saying exactly what that entails, or what I do to do that. And then I add some more details about how I do it. And then finally, the results. So I hope that this helps you guys structure your answers. Okay, I know that it's really hard to think while I'm talking, so do you guys have any answers for this one or for these? The point of this is for me to give you guys higher level vocabulary, but also for you guys to try to have your own answers so that I can improve them or let you know if they're perfect. Can you guys give me some answers to these? We'll do one or two and then we'll move on to part 3 because I know that's what you guys really want to work on. So, come on guys, give me some answers! Yeah! And again, if you're a slow typer or if you're a slow thinker, that's perfectly fine. The most important thing is that you guys put some answers out there. Raghav Naz by Le Fong. You guys got anything for me? And please don't be scared by my answers. I don't expect you guys to have an answer like my answer. I'm a native speaker. I'm giving this to you guys so that you guys can see some high-level vocab that you can steal in sentences. So like stave off boredom, stay in contact 24/7, a terrible, terrible existence. Has this happened to anybody? You guys forgot your phone when you went to use the restroom, and then you were just so bored. Can't imagine living without it is a nice phrase to learn. Okay, let's see. I see. What piece of technology do you use on a regular basis? Great one. I use Zoom a lot since every class became online course now. Okay. Let's see if we can fix the grammar here a little bit. Thank you, by the way, so much, for putting this out. For being brave. I love brave students. So, I use Zoom a lot. I have been using Zoom a lot recently as all of my classes have moved to be online. Okay. So thank you so much, Bai, for putting this out there. This is the exact same thing that you want to say, except with some higher level grammar I have been using. I'm assuming that you're still taking classes. As, to connect your ideas, and then have moved to be online is very high level way to say what you wanted to say up there. And then Raghav says fend off. Can we use fend off? Let's see. You usually use fend off. It means very similar to fight off. So fend off boredom. Yes, yes you can. Let me add that. By the way, if you are also trying to use fend off, I can't think of many other instances, but fend off is very high level. Excellent word to add, Raghav. Fantastic. Okay, Leon Fong says, yes, I do love using technology. Good job being direct. Let me copy and paste that so that everyone can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And this will be the last thing unless someone else has another answer, and then we'll move on. So this is for this question. Yes, I do love using technology. I would say I'm a big fan of technology. I always spend 2 to 3 hours using my smartphone searching for information and for recreation. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, there's not really much wrong here, but I did promise that I would come up with higher level ways to say it. So your answer here is perfectly fine. To prevent repetition of ideas, I would say I'm a huge fan of technology. I always spend at least 2 to 3 hours on my phone for fun or to get something done. Okay, so what I want to point out here is that his answer, or her answer, sorry Lei Feng, as everyone knows I'm terrible with gender, this would be a 7 across the board, because this is an example of 7-like vocabulary, mainly because they do a little bit of repetition here. I would say I'm a big fan of technology. It has the exact same meaning as I love technology. So repeating ideas does lower your fluency a little bit. Also, there's no grammar mistakes here. But it's still only a 7 because it's not what a native speaker would be using. So for example, down here, a native speaker would say the same thing, but with this vocabulary. I know that it looks lower level, but this is what a native speaker would naturally be saying. So again, there's nothing wrong with this answer aside from the mild repetition. Yeah. If you wanted to go a little bit deeper, I would change one thing. I would say, I would use a different example, honestly. Because being a fan of technology means that you really love it. So I would say I'm a huge fan of new tech. I always go out and get the latest iPhone when it comes out. And I love getting new gadgets that I see when I'm surfing the net. I have a smart TV, a smart fridge, and even a smart toaster. So this is a little bit better for new tech because it has a bunch of different new technology that you enjoy. Spending 2 to 3 hours is kind of normal. I do love using technology. If you gave a little bit more detail about how you use it for recreation, like do you use it for gaming, do you use it to watch Netflix, that would also make this a little bit stronger. Okay, thank you so much for saying that, Li Feng. And let me add buys as well. All right, for the same question, fantastic. And then we will move on to part 3. I know that's the part you guys all really want to work on. By the way, guys, thank you so much for showing up to this. Me and Phil love doing these. And I'm happy to be helping you guys on your journey. So, Bai says, I don't really like to use technology, to be honest, but because I feel our lives are a bit too over-dependent. overly dependent on digital devices. Sometimes I even left my phone at home when I go out just to take some time from technology. Just to take a break from technology. Okay. One other thing, to be overly dependent, our lives are a bit too overly dependent. That's okay. It's a little bit better to say we are a little bit too overly dependent. Our lives is technically okay. That would be a 7, but it's not what we would naturally say. The better collocation with overly dependent is our lives. Is we. We are overly dependent on digital devices. If you added a detail here that said how we are overly dependent on it, that would make it a little bit stronger, but honestly, this is perfectly fine. In part 1, you don't want your answers to be too long. This is honestly the perfect length of an answer. 3 details and a direct answer to the question, great, fantastic. Alright guys, let's move on to part 3, and then if we have time, we'll come back to speaking part 2. But part 3 is that tough one, the abstract topics. We already have one of these from Naz. Why should we restrict the use of mobile technology in public places? Can you guys please come up with some more questions? Actually, we can cheat a little bit. Let's see if we can steal any from writing task 2, like I said. Okay. So yeah, we can steal a bunch of these. Let me cheat a little bit and go to the bottom. Okay. And while I'm copying and paste these, please come up with your own extra questions, guys. Remember, I love it when people are interacting in chat. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it makes me smile. I know that you guys can't see my smile, but I promise you it's there. What are some technological solutions that we will have in the future to combat climate change? Alright guys, please come up with your own questions here, if you can, while I continue to copy and paste. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Okay, I see one from Bai, and one from Rasitha, and one from another one from Bai. These are great. Okay, let me throw these up here. Thanks, guys. These are fantastic. Ooh, these are some really good ones. I don't even need to steal many because these are so good. Do you think modern technology is useful? Yes. I would say that's quite similar to this one, but still good. Let's see. What are some advantages of using computers? I would probably change this to be specific. What are some advantages for companies? For using computers. Okay. A little bit strange, but it's fine. And let's see if we can get 2 or 3 more, and then we'll talk about the best ones. I believe many people become addicted to their phones. This looks like an answer for up here. An extra detail for Bai's answer. I believe many people have become addicted to their phones. And then if you give an example, it seems everywhere I look, everyone always has their face glued to it. Even when I see families out to dinner, they aren't chatting anymore. They are all just looking at their screens. Okay. Yeah. And again, guys, remember, you guys can always look at this yourself right here. Just follow this link. I promise you, if you click it, it will bring you to the worksheet that we're working on. And then you guys can steal and go back and study this for vocabulary that you want to take. All right. So let's go over. Some people have posted even more. These are fantastic. Should people be free to post anything they want? What are some advantages for companies using these? Okay. What are some of the effects of social media on younger people? Robin, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. And then Rashitha, another great one. Okay, I think we have enough. If you guys want to add your own, that's perfectly fine. That's what this place is here for. Let's see, which one of these would you like me to answer? And then while I'm answering it, don't forget to please write your own answers. So which one of these would you guys like me to answer first? And then also please remember, start writing your own answers so that we can make them better. Okay, please let me know in chat. I'll give you guys about 1 minute to choose. And you guys can tell me, I'll write the numbers here so that everyone can see. And just choose the one that you like. Okay, guys, please let me know which one would you like me to answer, and also please put your own answers in there. I know I'm being repetitive. Unfortunately, that's just part of live streaming, is that people come and go, and so I want to make sure people don't come in, hear silence, and then just leave. Okay, I see 2 people who want me to do the third one. Great. And remember, while I'm answering this one, please have your own answers as well. By the way, this whole thing is recorded. Even though I'm writing down what I say, you guys can actually practice your pronunciation by going back in this video, listening to my answer, and then just repeating what I say. Trying to copy the same intonation, the same rhythm of what I'm saying. It will improve your English. So this live stream can be super useful even after you guys finish watching it. Go back to the video, rewatch my answers, and then try to listen and say what I do. Making sure that you don't miss little tiny words that are easy to miss because they're unstressed. Okay. And Robin has the differences between older and younger people. Okay, I will do all 4 of those, but I need you guys to promise me something. After I give my answers, I hope that you guys write your own answers in chat. Please do that for me. So that we can fix them. Because remember, passively listening to someone answer questions, it will make sense now, it will go into your head now, but I promise that like in an hour, you guys are going to forget a lot of it. So if you guys interact, if you guys are more active now, it will help your learning. And also I can fix your mistakes. This is like a free class. You guys are so lucky. Okay, so answer. So my answer. This is actually great for vocabulary. I can understand why you guys wanted me to do this one. So, what are some technological solutions that we will have in the future to combat climate change? Well, we already have a lot of solutions. that we just need to scale up, which I hope we will continue to do in the future. I'm talking specifically about solar, hydro, wind, and wave power. All of these are clean ways to generate electricity. And did you know if we captured just a percent of the energy, of the solar energy we are getting on Earth, we could easily meet all of our energy needs. Okay, I will give a second answer as well, because this is really great, on point. And the thing that I want to point out to you guys is that even though I'm talking about current solutions, I do have this sentence which connects it to in the future. This is a big mistake students make. You guys start to talk about current solutions that we have, but you never link it to the future. If I did not have this sentence, this would be off topic. This would be a bad answer. The vocab's great, the grammar's great, of course, but it would be a bad answer because it's not directly on topic. Because I have this yellow sentence, it is now about the future. To give you guys another answer about the future is over here. I think the one technological breakthrough that will solve all of our energy needs and get us completely off fossil fuels is fusion power. You know, when we smash two atoms together and generate electricity that and generate the electricity from the energy released from that reaction. Okay, this is the same way the sun produces energy. The reason why this is the tech we need is that the fuel is the most abundant element on Earth, hydrogen. It would also lead to endless energy. Okay. So, I had an interesting thing in class today where we were talking about lifting off, and it was something that I thought was common knowledge, but a lot of people don't know. So the other reason why I recommend that you guys read widely, read articles about technology on BBC News, on Time Magazine, on National Geographic, is so that you guys learn not only the vocabulary, but also these ideas that a lot of people may not know. I love learning, like, in my free time. Like, when I have free time, I watch educational YouTube channels about history and about the future and about technology. This is what I do in my free time. So I have a lot of knowledge that will help me out for this. Fusion power, everything that I described here, is the answer. Yeah. Also, knowing about each and every one of these will also raise your vocab score. All right, I hope you guys found this useful. If you guys want, I can say this again at a faster speed, since I was speaking slowly while I was typing. If you guys want me to repeat this faster, just let me know in chat. I see that Bai had an answer to number 3 as well. Let's throw her answer down and see how it is. By the way, Bai, thank you for being a super student and writing your own answer. Thank you for being so brave. Remember, the rest of you guys can do the same thing. So this is Bai's answer. Okay. By the way, Bai, I apologize. The only reason I'm calling you Bai is, and not your actual first name, is that Bai Mei? Oh, I knew that character. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I will start calling you Bai Mei instead of Bai in the future, if I'm right. We will probably only electric cars replace all the fossil fuels. Therefore, okay, you're missing a verb here. We will probably only electric cars. We will probably only solve this problem when we replace all cars with electric cars. Okay. Let me double check the question. What are some technological solutions that we will have in the future to combat climate change? Okay. So let me change the wording here a little bit. In the future, we will solve one way we will solve climate change is by replacing all cars with electric cars, which will wean us off fossil fuels. Okay. We will also have a lot less air pollution than we do now as a result. Okay. By the way, I want you guys to see the thing here. Climate change is not the same as air pollution. And this is a mistake that I see a lot of students make. Climate change is the world getting hotter. Air pollution are things that make you sick in the air. So this is something a lot of people don't know. One of the biggest greenhouse gases, one of the biggest things that lead to climate change is a very special chemical. It's called H2O. And if you guys know H2O, that's water. Water is a big greenhouse gas. It causes the earth to trap heat. And there's a lot of it in the air. Greenhouse gases are not bad. It's how much greenhouse gases which cause climate change, which is bad. So water in the air is not air pollution. It is a greenhouse gas, but it is not air pollution. But you can say that we also have a lot less air pollution now than we also will have a lot less air pollution than we do now as a result. So this one is 100% on point. Okay, we will solve climate change by replacing all cars with electric cars, which will wean us off fossil fuels. And this is probably the new word here. I'll change this to green. We will also have a lot less air pollution than we do now as a result. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for being brave and putting that up there. Jesse, so mean. Jesse said, that's a great answer, Bai. And then I changed Bai's answer and Jesse deleted her comment. No, it was a great answer. Jesse, be nice. Okay. Raghav is saying geothermal and nuclear. Raghav, what I want you to do, those are great high-level vocab, but part of the thing that we're doing here is making sure you know how to use those words. So what I want you to do, Raghav, is put those two into a sentence. Give me an actual answer using that vocabulary. And then I'll fix it for you just like I did with bye. Okay. Are there any more that you guys want to put out here? And again, I hope that this is useful. If this is useful to you guys, please say, yes, this is useful. All right, and again, I'm going to give you guys about 1 minute to try to write your own answers. Raghav, I recommend you write your answer with that great vocabulary that you said in chat. And anyone else, it can be about this question or any other question. And while you guys are coming up with those answers, I will answer the next one that you guys wanted me to answer. Raghav said he wanted me to answer Rasitha said that I should answer number 2 and number 8. So, number 2, number 8. I think I'll do number 8 first, because it looks like people are getting a little bit tired and leaving the stream, which is totally understandable. We have been going for an hour and a half. I know. Time flies when you're having fun, or when you're listening to my fantastic voice. Okay, so we'll do number 8. And again, what I want is for you guys to give me more answers. Be brave, like Bai was. I know that she's crying in the chat right now, but it's the best way to learn. Give me your answers to any of these questions. Again, remember, just like the unicorn, the bat, and the blobfish, you guys can look at this yourself by just in the description clicking the document to see what we have so far and see what the questions are. Okay. Let's answer number 8. I'll write my answer, and then you guys, while I'm typing and while I'm answering it, I hope you guys try it yourself. It's perfectly okay to be wrong. If you guys had perfect answers, I would be sad. Do you guys know why I would be sad? Because I would have no job, and I like my job. So, please give answers, even if they're not right, even if they're not 100% right, even if they're only 20% right. Please be brave and put your answers in chat, guys. Okay, so what differences are there between the attitudes of older and younger people to technology for communication? There's actually a huge difference. Young people are a lot more eager and willing to adapt these new technologies compared to their elders. In fact, a lot of older people are actually reluctant to adopt them. This is why you see so many young people jumping to the next shiny new app, while most old farts, I have a young audience, so I won't offend anyone with this. While most old farts are still farting around on Facebook. So I hope you guys find these terms funny and endearing. Still farting around. Similar to still using. Okay. By the way, don't forget that the examiner will often ask you a follow-up question. So even though this answer directly and completely answers the question, the examiner will still try to push you. So what differences are there between the attitudes of older and younger people? There's a huge difference. So the examiner will say, besides what apps they use and how, so they may say, are there any similarities? Ooh, because they went differences, similarities. This may be a follow-up question. Another one would be, besides those two, what other differences are there? Or if the examiner really wants to punish you, push you, they will say, why do these differences exist? All right, so these are three possible follow-up questions that you may hear after your answer, because they really want to see you use your vocabulary and fully develop your answer. So be ready for these. By the way, Lien Feng, this is fantastic. Let me put your answers over there for number 4. Thank you so much for being brave and putting this out there. By the way, bye. I really hope that you are also brave and come back and put another one out there. I hope I didn't scare you away. Okay, let me put down Lei's answer, or Lien's answer. Okay. Let me make any small adjustments that I see, and then we'll see if there's any structural problems after that. Okay, so yes, I think the way people work has changed by technology. Has been changed by technology. Okay, sorry, I missed the bin. This is actually perfectly fine. I think the way people work has been changed by technology. By the way, this is really important. This is using passive voice, which Leon has done successfully and correctly. So congratulations there. With the development of tech, people tend to take advantage of it. Okay. Many people use automatic machines to contribute to reducing manual labor. Okay, this is an example of a 6 to 7 in vocab, because it's correct, but it's not what a native speaker would say. It's definitely not an 8, but it's actually, there's not really anything wrong with it. Grammatically, it's just a little bit weird to say. Yeah, such as when, this is important, such as when they use, because you're introducing a clause, so you need to, because you have that they, such as using washing machines, or such as when they use washing machines to wash their clothes instead of washing them by hand. This is a really good answer. She starts by directly talking about it, and then she explains why, and then she gives a specific example. Or he, I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Lien Feng, can you tell me your gender? Are you a guy or a girl? Okay, many people use automatic machines to reduce so sorry, I'm gonna change this to make it perfect. Many people use automatic machines to reduce the amount of manual labor they need to do. Okay, yeah, this is good, I like it. And Rasitha, and thank you, Lien Feng. And again, I apologize, I'm really bad with gender based on non-English names. I think so far I have gotten every single gender wrong. Every time it was a guy, I thought it was a girl. Every time it was a girl, I thought it was a guy. So again, I apologize for that. Okay, and Rasitha, let's look at yours. And then I have one more tip, unless people have other questions that they want to ask about the IELTS exam. Rasitha, younger generations have different ideas and behaviors than older generations. Okay. So this is for number 8. And this is Rasitha's answer. Okay. Younger generations have different ideas and behaviors than older generations. Older generations develop thoughts from their personal stories and experiences. Wayne, I will get you them tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'm so sorry. I've been extremely busy this past week. Literally tonight, I will get them to you. Don't worry, Wayne. Wayne is a student from a previous class who I owe some writings to. Yes. Okay. So younger generations have different ideas and behaviors than older generations. So if this is the answer to why these differences exist, this is okay. Okay. This is a good answer to the reasons for these differences. I don't know if this is a great answer. The first one answers the question. The second support doesn't really support it. Okay. All right. So I see that the stream is kind of slowly dying. Thank you guys for coming. I will answer Raghav's last. Thank you so much for putting this out there. Okay. So certainly there is an inordinate difference, good vocab, in using technology. In the use of technology would probably be better. In technology use, as young users are more zealous. Okay. This is okay. And use it. You need something here. With alacrity. New inventions. And use with alacrity new inventions than geriatrics, who need guidance from youth to know how to use these new technologies. Okay. So after we fix that, looking at this Raghav, it's a little bit hard to parse. It's a little bit hard to understand. Like, you're using these words correctly. You're using these words correctly, but I get this feeling that you're using these words just to use these words. And it's messing up the clarity of your answer a little bit. What I mean by this is it's a really common problem where students, they know they need to use high-level words to get a high-level score. And some of them make the mistake where they use it incorrectly, and of course that lowers their score. This is an example of a different problem where he's using these high-level words too much. It makes me, when you say this, it makes me wonder if you know the meaning of zealous. You know what? No, it's fine. This is fine. This is a fine sentence. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, alacrity is actually a word that I have learned recently. And yep, he used it 100% correctly here. Geriatrics is great. who need guidance from youth to know how to use these new technologies is perfect. It was just the fact that you were with more zealous. I mean, it's correct. It just sounds a little weird. But no, this is a good answer. Yeah, this is a good answer. All right, guys. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of our live stream. Oh, sorry, the last thing, listening vocab. We're not going to spend time here because this stream is almost 2 hours already. But one thing that most students don't realize, most students, they study for the reading test, and then they study for the listening test, and then they study for the writing test, and then they study for the listening test, for the speaking test. But they don't realize that the IELTS exam, the listening exam, and the reading exam have great amounts of vocabulary, sentence frames, ideas, and connections that you guys can steal for your speaking. The listening has perfect examples of high-level vocabulary use and high-level grammar and sentences that you guys can steal for your own answers. For example, especially for listening part 3 and listening part 4, these are great places to read the transcripts and steal ideas and vocab and sentence frames for speaking part 3. The stuff that you learn in listening part 2 and listening part 3 and 4 will give you ideas and other stuff for speaking part 3. I promise. Look through there after you do the listening. Go back and see if there's any vocabulary or sentences that you want to steal, and I promise you, you will find good stuff. Second, for listening part 1 and 2, this is great. Steal ideas and vocab for what do you call it? Speaking parts 1 and 2. By the way, down here, it can also help you with ideas for writing task 2, and sometimes writing task 1. Just to give you an example, I remember there was one time there was a listening about recycling paper, and then there was a writing task 1 process diagram that was about, can you guess it? Recycling paper. If you had studied this, the listening about recycling paper, you would have a much better vocabulary for the writing task 1 process diagram. Don't think that everything is separate. Study the test together, steal sentences from the listening, from the reading, and it will make your speaking and your writing stronger. I promise. All right, aside from Wayne shaming me for not getting his writings back, which again I promise I will get to you tonight, I've been working on them throughout the week, Wayne, but it takes a little bit of time. Again, I apologize so much for not getting that to you earlier. Are there any more questions about the IELTS exam, about learning vocabulary, about anything at all? Just let me know in chat. Okay, Raghav says, how do you sound natural for writing and speaking? I mean, really, if you only need a 6.5, you don't need to sound that natural. And Phil gave this advice during the mock exam. One thing you can do is, I have said these sentences myself when I was writing them. So some of these answers, you guys can go back when this is a normal video and just listen and repeat what I say. And that will help you with the rhythm and sound more natural. Just like I was saying before, go to the listening, when you guys are studying for the listening part of the exam, go and try to listen and say to what they're saying. They're great resources. And of course, having a native speaker correct you will also help you out, which is what Saturday will be. So I hope I see you on Saturday. And I promise you guys, we will fix all the problems and bugs that we had last time. I've just been extremely busy last week. I had like 40 hours of classes, which is ridiculous on top of the live streams that I've been doing for you guys. Okay, and you need an 8.5. Holy crap, Raghav, are you trying to be a doctor? You know, there's actually something a little bit useful for you, Raghav. And that is, well, okay, you need a 7.5 for speaking and a 7.5 for writing. Okay, that's not, so an overall 8. That's very rare. Most programs only require a 7 at the most, even for grad school. But if you are near that already, Raghav, so this is only if you're not starting really low and you need to work your way up to that point. If you're already that fluent, if you're already that much of a natural speaker, just chatting with other foreigners is really the best thing you can do. A lot of students are stuck around the 5.5 to 6.5 area, and that's because it hasn't clicked. When you're studying a language, there reaches a point, usually when you're about a 7, where the language just clicks and you suddenly understand everything. And the way that you know if you have this is if you have an ear for the language. If you hear someone say something and you go, that's wrong, then you reach that point, you're there. Just more and more input. Find a language exchange partner. There's a lot of programs out there that offer free matching with language exchange people, and just chat. That will help you sound more natural. Yes. And of course, doing the listen and say will help your pronunciation a lot. Okay, yeah, you're going for general training, so you're trying to get as high as possible. Yeah, same advice. Look at the listenings and readings, steal sentences and vocab from that, and chat with people. Okay, Raghav, that was a great question. Any more questions? Okay, then Wayne will probably be very happy to know that I'm going to continue marking his essays and get them to him tonight. The rest of you, I will see you guys during my next live stream. Remember, you guys can see Phil tomorrow at 3 p.m. At 3 p.m. Taipei time, and you guys can compare that to your own time here. So it will be an afternoon stream. You guys will next see me on Wednesday for a reading connected to technology. And then finally, don't forget that we have the mock speaking exam Friday, the group speaking on Saturday, and we have a full mock exam where you guys can take the listening and the reading test completely for free. And if you guys want, for a small fee, we are offering to mark your speaking and your writing. We won't give you a detailed marking. We won't tell you exactly what you did wrong. Phil will just give you a score for the speaking, and we will both give you scores for the writing that you do. All right, guys. So I hope to see you guys on Wednesday. Say hello to Phil for me on Tuesday. And thank you, everyone, for coming. You guys have been great. Thanks for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the future. Bye.